You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. You look good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. Tuesday, December 30th. Welcome back. It's been a week since we've done a show. Hopefully everyone had a great, merry, happy Christmas. They got everything they wanted. They got to spend time with family, friends, eat a lot like I did. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the Christmas holiday, and of course, New Year's coming up right around the corner as well. So back at it for a couple days here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. I got to spend a ton of time with family, celebrate the holidays, all those kind of things. But we have a lot of sports to get to and talk about. And we have a jam-packed show for you guys today on a gloomy Tuesday here in the Midwest in the Quad Cities. First and foremost, thank you for watching. If you're watching us live on YouTube, thank you for that. We appreciate that. Make sure you're subscribing. If you have not subscribed, do so. If you have, thank you. Tell a friend or 2 or 10 about what we're doing each and every day, weekday right here in the Quad Cities. We do some Saturday shows as well, but every day right here in the Quad Cities. We're also live on X. X has been very good to us. So if you're on X, if you're on YouTube, make sure you're giving us your feedback. On YouTube, we have the stream up and going. If you've got questions for our guests, if you want to yell at me about something, if you disagree about something, all of those kind of things, let us know right now and get on the chat and chat with us as well throughout the show. We are also available in all of your podcasting platforms as well. Spotify, Apple, Podbean, iHeart, wherever you get your podcast put in. Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, you can listen to the show each and every day as well, which is a lot better than looking at me, I always say. But anyway, you're taking in the show, whether it's on YouTube, X, podcasting, any way you do it, we appreciate you doing that for sure. We also want to welcome our viewers in Central Iowa. We are on each and every evening at 7 p.m. on the WHO streaming app. We appreciate that. You'll love today's show. If you're in the Central Iowa area, you're going to love our first hour. It's going to be a bunch of fun. We'll explain that coming up in a matter of moments as well. So the plan for this week, we got a great show today. We'll get you set for the Iowa Hawkeyes and their bowl game coming up tomorrow. The Illini play today. We'll preview that game as well. A lot to get to today. We'll have a show tomorrow as well. Different time tomorrow. We're not going to do the show in the middle of the Iowa football game. It would make no sense. So we will do a post show. We'll also have Nest guests tomorrow as well. So I'm guessing that show is going to be around 3 p.m. Somewhere around that. We'll get it out to all the, if you're subscribing, you'll know when it comes on, but it'll be later in the afternoon tomorrow as we kind of review what we hope is an Iowa victory over Vanderbilt. We'll also do some Nest guests and a lot more, but tomorrow afternoon, that show. No show on New Year's Day or Friday. We're going to take the rest of the week off, recharge, re-energize, because when we come back next week, we get rocking and rolling in a great month of January. Also, we're getting ready to celebrate our year anniversary doing OTA, which is wild to think of. It flew right by. Extremely grateful to everyone who supported it, watched it, the sponsors, all of those kind of things. So we'll get you more on that later in the show. But yeah, so 2 shows today, tomorrow. A lot to get to today. Coming up in a matter of moments. In my opinion, the best radio booth in all of college football, Gary Dolphin and Pat Anger will join us in a matter of moments with plenty to talk about as we get ready for Iowa, Vanderbilt, and a whole bunch more. I'm going to ask them their best of this past season as well. Best moment, best game, best player, all those kind of things. So those 2 knuckleheads coming up. Actually, one legend, one knucklehead coming up in a matter of moments. Also coming up later in hour number 1, the Illini play today. So we have Kedric on previewing Illinois, Tennessee. That game at 4:30 Central Time on ESPN. The Illini currently 3.5-point underdogs coming into that game as well. And then later on the show in hour number 2, we're going to go live to Nashville. A good friend of mine, Dustin Thor, and his family are down at the game. A lot of Quad Cityans are down there. A lot of Illini fans making the trip to Tennessee. It's a home state game for the Volunteers, but there will be plenty of Illini fans, especially here from the Quad Cities. So we'll talk with Dustin coming up in a little bit later on in hour number 2 to kind of get you set and get the vibe, the feel for what Nashville is today. The Illini and the Volunteers coming up at 4:30. It is the Music City Bowl. We mentioned it on ESPN. No Matthew Bailey. He had surgery. He's got a decision to make whether he's going to come back next year to the Illini or take his talents to the NFL. So it's a difficult decision. Pros on both sides. Very talented young man. We're going to try to catch up with Matthew Bailey probably after he makes his decision. I doubt he's going to come talk to us while making that decision, but we'll catch up with Matthew Bailey sometime, hopefully in the month of January. No Gabe Yakis as well for the Illini. So down some big players on defense, but Luke Altmaier, that offense still playing today. So it should be an offensive shootout down in the Music City Bowl. Luke Altmaier, 21 touchdowns, 5 interceptions this year. So we'll talk more Illini coming up in just a little bit as well. Some college basketball before we get to our first guest. The Iowa Hawkeyes winning easily as expected, 90-62 over Mass Lowell yesterday at Carver Hawkeye. Bennett Sturtz, 22 points, 8 assists. The Hawkeyes ranked 25th in the nation as they get ready to turn the page into 2026 and get ready for some big games coming up. Their next game at Carver Hawkeye Arena against a very good UCLA team. So hopefully Carver is packed on Saturday as Iowa welcomes UCLA to town in what should be an extremely important and big game for the Hawkeyes. Also yesterday, the Illini handled Southern easily, 90-55. The Illini with 5 players scoring in double figures yesterday. So an easy victory for the Illini. Of course, they knocked off Missouri recently. They get rolling back into Big Ten play as well coming up after the first of the year. We'll talk some NFL later in the show. The Bears with, in my opinion is usually right, especially when it comes to the Bears, with their most impressive game of the season in a loss on Sunday night. I thought that was the most impressive game, maybe besides Philadelphia. Going to Philadelphia and winning, but I think San Francisco is a much better football team than Philadelphia, especially offensively. So, I mean, and you can take any of the victories besides Philly, and I don't, and yes, we'll get into the Bears-Packers miracle win and all that. I wasn't impressed with the Bears for 55 minutes of that game. The last 5 was great, and they got the victory over the Packers, but the Bears and their performance in a loss out in San Francisco was as impressive as I've seen them this season. They also have struggles on defense. We'll talk about the Bears. They got a game with my Lions, who have wet the bed the last 3 weeks. So much different game than what we maybe expected, what I expected. But I do think the Lions will come to play on Sunday. I don't know if I want them to. It's better off not to win that game, have a 4th place schedule next year with a talented roster and deal with that. But that's not how this guy, Dan Campbell, works. So we'll talk more LNFL later in the show. Also, holiday tournaments going on around the area when it comes to high school basketball. Best of luck to Rock Island. They're down at the State Farm Classic down in the Peoria area. They're playing for a championship tonight. Several other teams playing for championships or 3rd place games as well. So we'll get you caught up on that maybe tomorrow a little bit on the show as well. But we mentioned it at the top, really excited because our first 2 guests are, in my opinion, 2 of the best of the business, and they have a big game to call coming up tomorrow when it's Iowa and Vandy down in Tampa. And joining us now to get set for the ReliaQuest Bowl down in Tampa is the face of Iowa media, the faces of Iowa media, Gary Dolphin and Pat Anger. Gentlemen, how is sunny Florida?
It's good. A little foggy right now, Matt, but it's supposed to clear off. It's beach day for the players, and most of them don't want to go, but they're obligated to, or at least a few of them are. But so there'll be a few out there. There's so many activities to take in down here in Tampa. It's a great city, lots to do. The Buccaneers are here, and they're fighting for a playoff spot in
Yeah.
the NFL. So yeah, a lot going on.
Beach day with Pat Anger. What does that entail? Like, are you worried? What's he wearing? All those kind of things.
Well, at least he's wearing something. That's the way I look at it.
That's not what you said last night.
Did you?
man.
Did you bring your thong, bikini, swimsuit?
You know, I always wear those things backwards. Pisses people off.
Well,
Well,
it's been great catching up with you guys.
All right.
Yeah, okay,
I
good
miss
to
you.
We'll see you, buddy.
Thanks for keeping this short today.
Yeah, right. Like, right. Guys, come back. Fellas, please, just once. Okay, good. Phew. My goodness, my Lord. These two. That's outstanding. That's Gary, do you ever think you used to be like the consummate professional and now you're hanging out with this guy? What happened to you?
Yeah, I know. He steered me in the wrong direction.
He
Matt.
did something.
It's been nothing but south since he arrived. But and we've reached Tampa. The only place left now is the Gulf. We might jump in there. Of course, you
Yeah.
can walk on water.
I've
can't.
heard that. I've heard his team is the greatest Iowa football team of all time, the 09 team. I don't know if you knew
course it
that.
is.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I think
Everybody.
that's
They're
it.
talking about it down here.
All right, let's.
Yeah, that's
enough of the
2000
has-beens. Go ahead, Gary.
I don't know if it was the 2007 team or the 2009 team. One of those were the greatest ever.
2009 and in 2008, second graders.
Okay, gotcha. Now we got it straight.
Jeez. All right, now that we got that figured out, let's go
What
from
an
the
era.
has-beens to the actual current Iowa football team. And Dolph, I want to start with you because this team, this program seems motivated to play a bowl game. That's nothing new at the University of Iowa. That's not always the case in college football. Why is it that Iowa is maybe a little old school when it comes to this is a great opportunity to get better, to be on the field one last time, all of those kind of things that Iowa looks forward to?
Yeah, I like it that it's old school, and I think it's a reflection of the head coach. He respects all terrain where football is played, including this bowl game. This is the seventh trip to the Outback, now the ReliaQuest Bowl for the Hawkeyes, and I've always enjoyed this bowl in particular because for many years it was a New Year's Six bowl. It's a big deal to be playing anywhere around New Year's Day. The Hawks would be playing on New Year's Day if it weren't for the playoffs, and I get it. College football playoffs take priority in terms of the media, but it's a nationally televised game. It is, of course, on the Hawkeye Radio Network. We reach all ends of the earth, and it's a big deal. And Tampa has done a great job historically of rolling out the red carpet for two teams that I think are worthy of certainly top 20 mention. And they are ranked in the top 25. The Hawks are 23. I think Vanderbilt is 14th when I last looked. They've got a Heisman Trophy finalist in quarterback Diego Pavia. Iowa's defense is well storied, well documented, one of the best in the country annually. So I think it's a great matchup. They usually come up with outstanding matchups from the Big Ten and the SEC. And this is, I believe, the 40th anniversary of the bowl game, Matt. And so for anything to last 40 years with the cost of putting something like this on, it's amazing. And we're here at the Grand Hyatt, a beautiful hotel right on the beachfront, right on the Gulf front.
Wow.
So it's all good. I mean, and it should be a great football game.
Yeah, I think people are looking forward to that. It is one of the matchups, I think, outside of the playoffs that people are really looking forward to. Pat, when it comes to getting ready for bowl prep, and you've done it with Kirk, it was a while ago. I don't want to date you, but it's been a few years. But that guy doesn't change too much. What is this maybe week, the Christmas week leading up to the bowl game, like? What are those guys trying to do? What do you want to get accomplished? All those kind of things. Take us inside maybe that locker room right now.
Well, yeah, this week is, it's obviously it's game prep. During the bowl, I guess kind of the bowl prep, you're basically what it is. It's a lot of developmental, and that's what's kind of interesting for me, especially with these teams that are opting out of bowl games, is you're losing out on 15, 16 practices with your younger players to develop them, to get them better for next year when they're able to play. So initially it's, hey, we're going to get these kids better that haven't had a lot of playing time. We're going to rest our guys that played, and then we're going to gradually introduce Vanderbilt's offense and defense. And then this week when you're down here, it's game prep. It's like a regular week. Today they have a day off, and tomorrow they do the walkthrough, and then it's game time. You like when you get down here because then it's like, all right, it's game week. Let's go. Let's get ready. The negative with it, obviously you're traveling, you're a different environment. There's different things that you can kind of get involved with. But when we're at practice and we're seeing these guys, they're working. Coaches are holding them accountable. They're dialed in. It's been really fun to be a part of practice and just watch them hold these kids accountable and just watch their grit and their toughness. And, they're cooking with gas right now and really looking forward to, seeing them out there and compete. And it's a huge opportunity. We've lost a lot of close games to some really good teams. And this is a really, really good team we're playing. It's a great opportunity for this group to end on top. You talk about, guys that are opting out and not playing these bowl games. You get a chance to play, with your brothers one last time. You take advantage of that. And you really feel that with this group. They're very tight-knit. They're very close. And they want to go out there and they want to finish on top.
One other thing, Matt, that Coach Ferentz, I just thought of this, has always drilled into his guys is at the end of the year, it's a long season. I mean, it's 12, 13 weeks. You're beating each other up in practice every week. A bowl game like this, or really any bowl game, is a treat for the players and their families. They get to go someplace nice. Where for 90% of these bowls, the weather is very, very nice. And it's a reward for a season well done. I mean, they're 8-4. They lost to 4 top 10 or top 20 ranked teams, depending on the week. And so we're seeing a lot of little kids. Aaron Graves is wheeling around his new baby son this morning in the buggy. That's how these kids mature. You see them come in as 18, 19-year-old freshmen and watch them mature. And to Pat's point, Kirk's huge on developing the backups, the third, the three deeps, the guys that are going to be counted on to bring Iowa back to a bowl like this over the next couple of years. So it's Kirk's big on the family thing, and this is a perfect setting for that.
Dolph, I think people look at Vanderbilt, and it's a good football team. They've had a really good run, really good season. They're getting a lot of attention, the Heisman runner-up, all that kind of stuff. I still think Iowa's slept on as a team that had a really good – you mentioned, like 4 really close losses from being, playing the next day instead of just on New Year's Eve. Talk about this Iowa football team. I've talked with Pat a lot during the season. I really enjoyed this football team. I think they're a really good football team. I think that kind of gets overlooked. It's a team that's together, everybody's playing, but it's a good football team, isn't it?
It is, and nobody. I can promise you, Vanderbilt. Nobody in the Vanderbilt camp is looking past Iowa, because what you see is what you get. It's Phil Parker's defense. Start there. Top 10 in most statistical categories again this year, most notably in points allowed. And really, that's all Coach Parker cares about. Yeah, it's nice to stop the run. It's nice to limit them in passing yardage. But at the end of the day, how many points do they have on the scoreboard? And this Iowa defense, from Norm Parker to Phil Parker for the last, 27, 28 years, has been a study in consistency and steadiness. And then you flip it over on the other side to the offensive line, Joe Moore Award winners. That's 5 guys pulling in the same direction all season long, being on the same page. It's one of my favorite awards because it goes to a position group. It's not an individual honor, but you have 5 individuals who really did a phenomenal job, led by, of course, the Remington Trophy winner and Outland Trophy finalist, Logan Jones. And what does that lead to? It leads to the running game, and Iowa's running game is due in large part to Mark Gronowski, who loves to run the football. You've got an interesting case study in quarterbacks here, and I'll let Pat expand on that. And Diego Pavia, who's runs like his hair's on fire. I mean, he wants to get outside the pocket and go. And you got the rumbling, stumbling, as Chris Berman used to say, Mark Gronowski, who doesn't stumble much. I've often thought, what kind of year? One of the Iowa staples offensively, maybe the staple, is always the tight end. That's the go-to. That's the safety valve. That's the pacifier when the first 2 or 3 checkdowns aren't there.
Just a vicious competitor. He makes a lot of. Obviously, they do have designed runs for the quarterback, but really he makes his money when he's improvising, when he's scrambling, when he's moving around, creating space, elongating plays. And Mark, and he does, obviously he scrambles very well, but he's pretty good on those designed runs. He's a big back. He's he's tough to take down. I mean, 6'4", 235 pounds, like that's bigger than me. I'd have to be tackling him. And Diego, he's a lot shiftier, obviously a little bit, probably a little bit quicker. But one thing with both of these guys is they don't shy away from contact, which I know is probably scares their offensive coordinators at times. But they're both very good competitors, tremendous athletes, and good leaders. You can tell, when you watch Vandy play, the other players really feed off of Diego Pavia, and just like our team, we really feed off of Mark and his leadership.
Yeah, I think his leadership has been so underlooked this year because people look so much at numbers, but it's what he does and his winning that's been so impressive. Gary Dolphin and Pat Anger joining us right now and Off There with Matt Randazzo. Pat, I know you film. I know that Diego's going to stand out for Vanderbilt, but they give up points. I mean, they're not. I mean, they've people score against Vanderbilt. What does Iowa have to do offensively? And are there things, I don't want to say score with Vanderbilt because I don't think the Iowa defense gonna allow them just to go up and down the field by any stretch of the but there's opportunities for
statistically they're really good against the run. They do give up 250 yards a game passing, but I think it's like 103 in the rush. But I don't think they've gone against an O-line like ours. They do a good job, and their linebackers are really aggressive. And then after we establish that run, I see the play action working tremendously. Be able to get that. Obviously, I think Mark is going to be a huge advantage to us with his legs in the run game, and I think we're going to be able to take shots downfield as well too. They're playing with a lot of confidence. Guys are humming around. I'm looking forward to that matchup with our O line and their D line. I think we have that.
We know that Tim Lester is kind of a riverboat gambler, especially in a bowl game. If you win, great. If you lose, you don't drop in the Big Ten standings. I mean, you still had a great year. 8 wins is tough to come by. So I look for Tim Lester to open up that playbook also. Yes, establish the run. You've got maybe the best running quarterback in the country. And 1, 2, 3, 4 backs behind him, led by Kamari Moulton. Jazz Patterson's a different flavor that can all run the football, and they're all used to now this outstanding offensive line. So I think you're going to see a heavy example of what Big Ten power football is. But with Lester at the throttle, I think he and Gronowski, they're both from Naperville. Yeah. They're both hooked at the hip. I think you're going to see some fun out of this game plan tomorrow or Wednesday as well.
You mentioned it, Gary, because it was before Tim Lester got here, but wasn't it just 2-3 years ago that Sam Laporta was lining up as a quarterback for the Iowa Hawkeyes during a bowl game? So those are the fun parts of the bowl game, is you can kind of, have some creativity, have some fun with those kind of things as well. It's 2025 is almost done. We did this last week with Tom Kakert. I don't know if you know that guy. He's a little strange.
Who's Tom Kakert?
Exactly. But I wanted to ask you both a couple questions. When it came to this season, I want to start with best moment. There were so many great moments at Kinnick Stadium, from kicking the crap out of rivals to Kirk's milestone to, moments against Penn State and moments. What's the best moment? I'll go with both of you guys. I'll go Gary first because he's the legend. You let the legend lead. What's the best moment in 2025?
Well, I'm kind of an emotional guy when it comes to history, and you mentioned it. It has to, for me, it has to be Kirk Ferentz 206, win number 206, which puts him at the top of his Big Ten peers, the winningest coach in Big Ten football history. And when you think about the names, starting with Amos Alonzo Stagg at the turn of the last century, not this century, but a couple centuries ago. Then Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler and Joe Paterno, and, of course, the great Hayden Fry. You have to understand how difficult that is to attain. You have to stay healthy on the sidelines. You have to stay around a long time, and Kirk has. And the consistency with which he's brought this program from Hayden Fry's retirement to present day. And so I'd have to say, I think it was UMass, wasn't it, when he got win number 206, and it was a lopsided victory. Everybody knew it would be, but the fact that he attained that number was just a remarkable feat. Another remarkable feat by a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and him talking to the crowd, addressing it was fantastic. Pat, your moment of 2025.
No, yeah, I 100% agree with Dolph. And granted, that's, obviously that's the easy one, but I'm glad he went first because then I forgot about it. It's a little foggy this morning.
Now, if I can
down
throw
here in
one
Tampa.
on the field, while you continue to think about what your favorite.
No, my favorite one, other than Coach Ferentz, is to seal the game against Penn State, where Mark faked that inside run and the naked boot out there, had everybody biting on that inside run, and that was kind of something to where then Mark kind of took over. He kind of really took over after that. The team really really started believing him, and they came together, and obviously beating up on Wisconsin and Minnesota. That's always fun as well too.
My favorite moments would have to be the Michigan State game where Caden Weegan started it with a 100-yard return for a kick, and Drew Stevens ended it with a game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm half-hearted here, but I think it illustrates. We haven't talked about special teams here in the 3 minutes we've been on the air with Matt. But when you look at what Weegan, Stevens, and Reese Dakin has meant to this overall recipe of Iowa football this year, you can't overlook the fact that we got an All-American kicker, certainly an All-American return man, and a punter that you'd put in anybody's top 10.
Yep.
It's the best 3 minutes of your life, Dolph. Don't you forget it.
Oh, it has been. I mean, I can't believe how time has flown by.
I was going to say best game, but you guys went through the whole gamut. But is there a best game? Like, I mean, you talk about the blowouts going up to Wisconsin and hammering them. The Minnesota game was awesome. I think the Oregon game was probably the best game. It didn't end up going Iowa's direction, but maybe the best moment, it didn't end up great, was the 4th down touchdown run by Mark Gronowski to give Iowa the lead against Oregon. Like, in the rain, that place was going wild. So is there a game that you look back on, and when Pat is 60, but we both know he's not going to make it to 60.
40.
40. What game, Pat, sticks out? What's the best game of 2025?
Well, I like how we ended it. I like that we ended it with a butt kicking out in Nebraska, and they circled that game, and they really wanted that game. And first quarter it was a little bit back and forth, but we really took over and imposed our will on them, and they quit and they gave up, and we just continued to beat them down. And it's just it's a team that's gotten better every single week, and to end it like that in the Big Ten in the regular season was pretty special.
Maybe, and I would agree. The Nebraska game was really impressive. It's hard to win in the Big Ten on the road.
Yeah.
But those wins at Wisconsin and at Nebraska were just, wow. Those were eye openers. The loudest game for my old ears was Indiana.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
that night game with Indiana was so electric because you had the Hoosiers, who. People weren't overlooking them, but they weren't sure Indiana was the real deal. And I went back and looked because I thought they were a top 10 team. They were 11th, so they were climbing. They were right outside the top 10. But until you see Fernando Mendoza in person, you don't appreciate all of his skill set and those wide receivers. Of course, the most impressive thing about Indiana to me, and I've harped on this all year, was I'd get calls from all over the country, teams wanting to know about Indiana. I go, hey, their defense is spectacular. Just spectacular, and they showed it against Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. So, as usual, there's a whole bag full of great memories, Matt, on this Iowa football season.
Yeah. Last one for you, best player. It's tough when you have All-Americans and special teams and on the offensive line and everywhere else. But who was the best player for the Iowa Hawkeyes in 2025?
Well, they always say the most important position is quarterback.
Yeah.
Other than middle linebacker.
Yeah, for sure. The quarterback of the team.
I'm going to go with Logan Jones. I don't think Mark Gronowski would mind if I threw Logan in front of Mark, and here one is snapping to the other all year long. But for the Joe Moore Award is so special because you've got 5 guys that have to be in sync for the however many snaps there are in a season. But you have to have one guy among the 5 that is the leader, and that is Logan Jones. And they absolutely destroyed opposing defenses more often than not this year. And to do it with 3 seniors, of course, Bo Stevens and Logan were first-team AP All-Americans. Only 2 teams in the country had 2 players on the first team, Miami and your Iowa Hawkeyes. That speaks volumes. But then you look at big redhead Jennings Dunker, and those 2 youngsters, Trevor Locke and Cade Pieper, who are the future of that Iowa offensive line. Hats off to George Barnett, the coach of that position group. But also, Logan Jones would be my first pick, and Mark Gronowski would be a close second.
Sure. Pat?
Yeah, for me, I'm going with the electric man out of Williamsburg, Caden Weegan. I've never seen a returner single-handedly basically win us a game, and he did that against Michigan State. He broke a record, Tim Dwight's record. That's something that nobody ever thought would be broken, and he did it in 2 years. And especially, we talk about these punt returns, and nobody really talks about it. Back when I played, it was a basic punt, punt formation. Now it's that spread punt, and you've got the whole field covered. You've got free runners down the field. It's a lot harder to get returns now than it was back when I played. And for him to do that, and really when you look at the stats, there's a lot less punt returns for touchdowns now with that spread punt than there was back in the day. And he's continuing to do that, continue to make plays. Like just when you're like, there's no way he can do anything else spectacular, he goes and does that. Let's hope he gets opportunities this weekend or Wednesday, because Vanderbilt hasn't punted a lot. they haven't had to punt a lot, but I think they're going to have to against our defense.
Yeah, let's hope they punt to him as well. Gary, has he been complaining about his back? How is his back? Is he a baby? Is he toughening it up?
I have been complaining.
I so admired him as a player, Matt, because of his toughness. And now,
here we go.
He's cried from the moment he got on the plane. In those seats.
That's because he made me sit on your lap the whole 4 hours.
Yeah, Kakert had to pick him up the other night and crack his back at the WWE thing.
That's what they
which
call it.
I can't believe they went to anyway, but they did. And so no, he's been a crybaby. Frankly, he has. It's like pulling his arm out when he has to pick up a tab. Those guys know where their first nickel is. And I understand you got to have that 401k plan, but you don't have to tell me you're feeding everything into the 401k plan.
He's that guy like I am, that the wife makes.
Is he
money.
that way in the Quad Cities?
He can't be spending his wife's money. You got to be careful when it's your wife's.
Yeah.
So you got to be good.
When your wife's the breadwinner,
well,
you got to be careful with it.
I love Mary. Pat. Mary's such a sweetheart.
Step up. What kind of guy has their wife making all the money in the family? Oh, never mind. That's me. Never mind. That's
a smart man, a very intelligent human being.
Yes, exactly. Hey, last one, I promise. Do you guys do New Year's resolutions? Like, do you have like I'm going to be a better color analyst. I'm going to be more supportive of Gary. Like, in fact, do this. Gary, you come up with a New Year's resolution for Pat, and then Pat, you do one for Gary.
Okay. My New Year's resolution for Pat is I want to see you in a crew cut.
Love it.
Belly button hanging out. Next year I want Gary to shave his head so we can be twins on the radio.
I'm homely enough. I don't know. Well, let me think about that. AI should be able to create that.
Yeah.
Chrome Dome, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh?
Yeah. You don't need to do it for real. You just let AI do it. That's what everybody does now. I hear AI is pretty
not
good.
AI, man.
Some people say AI got us in the WWE, but I don't believe that.
I doubt. No, I don't think that at all. Hey, fellas, I appreciate it. Hey, Dolph, I'm up here in the Quad Cities. I'm not going to mess everything up like you always don't mess it up on Saturdays. I'm not going to mess anything up for you guys this week. Have a great call. I'll be listening. The rest of the Quad Cities will be listening. The rest of the state of Iowa will be listening. And beyond all that, do a great job as you always do. Happy New Year, all that good stuff. We'll catch up with you guys again real soon.
And before we leave, hats off to the Albrecht family. I think since the last time we talked, Jim passed, and he was such a staple and a real comedic individual leading off that first hour. So, Matt, you know what Jim was all about, and we were talking about Jim. We're going to have a nice little send-off for him on our pregame coverage Wednesday, so be listening.
Dolph, was he ever in a bad mood? Ever?
No.
That's the beauty part.
I saw.
Yes, I never saw Jim Albrecht down at all. And I was times that I was down, and he would come along and be like, if he's happy, why the hell am I happy? Like, he was just a great, happy individual, wasn't he?
Yep.
50 years ago, he followed me into when I was leaving, he came in at the radio station in Dubuque that I was at. And I can remember meeting him for the first time. And And I remember walking away going, man, that guy is bouncy. He is, he's just always up, and dead air was never an issue with Jim Albrecht on the air. And of course, I listened to him in the Quad Cities for many years, saw him on TV. Terry Swales is a good buddy of mine, the weatherman at Channel 6 for so many years, and he told me some great Albrecht stories. And then we relived most of them when he became our analyst or our host on the first hour. So great guy. We'll miss him dearly.
Absolutely. And well, guys, I appreciate it. Tell Corey Sheets, thank you as well. We all know that nothing happens in this world without the great Corey Sheets. So,
yeah,
he's getting a big head.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but you know what? I'll pass it along word for word, Matt.
I appreciate you guys.
He's
we'll
not
talk to you
Kevin
soon.
Dolan, but
who is? But who is? Right?
Who
Get
is
out
Kevin?
of here, boys. Thank you for coming
That's right.
back. Hey, thank you for coming back after you walked off. I appreciate you guys doing that. See you, boys.
That was pre-planned. That was pre-planned. Let me tell you.
It was really well done. Really well done. Get out of
Well,
here.
he says you're a walking human filibuster. I said, come on, he's a good guy.
All right,
He's
we
a
got
good man.
to before this gets in trouble. Let's see you, fellas. Appreciate you both.
See you, buddy.
See you, man.
All right, that is Gary Dolphin and Pat Anger. Guys, they're the best in the business, and they're great human beings as well. We got more to get to. You're watching OTA on a Tuesday. We'll be right back. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Welcome back to Off Day with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. It's not just any Tuesday. It's December 30th, and Illinois football will take center stage later this afternoon when they take on Tennessee in a bowl game. And we're here going to talk all about that and much more with is it Grandpa Ked? Like, what is the what is it? Is it Grandpa Ked? What do you want to be called by?
He calls me Peepaw. I've never heard that before, but I guess that's common. But I kind of like it because everything else for me has always been Grandpa. I mean, for everybody else, me is Peepaw. It's the cutest thing ever.
No, I love it, and you're going to be watching. I mean, maybe watching the game with the grandson. You've been Grandpa Peepaw daycare. Is that like what we call it these days? Kind of helping out while you're on break with the grandboy.
Yeah. And Kenny and I, we're on break. We're in the school systems, and so they don't have daycare. So we're getting up early in the morning time to go watch him, and trying to watch things that I want to watch for the next 4 or 5 days are done because we have to watch Spider-Man and learning videos, which is important. I get it, but man, it's tough. But it's, when I get frustrated because I want to watch something and he'll be like, "Oh, come on, Paul." Then it's all over. It's like, okay, man, you can do whatever you want, buddy. I don't care.
This afternoon, though, there's no better learning experience than watching Peepaw watch an Illinois bowl game, right? Maybe earmuffs, little earmuffs every once in a while.
Listen,
maybe.
Let me tell you, I'm not kidding. And this is not for me to try to, give you great content. You cannot, for a 2-year-old, you cannot say what you want to say in front of him because he will repeat it. And it is the scariest thing. I'm like, Kedric, you have to stop because if I say something, then I look at him, it's like, oh my gosh, no, you can't do it.
So let me tell you real fast. We got a bowl game to talk about, but when my oldest Charlie was probably 5 or 6, it was 2014. The Lions lost to Dallas in a playoff game. We weren't used to that. Well, we're used to losing, but not actually in playoff games. And it was a bad call, Ked. It was a really bad call. And during that year, little Charlie and I would go to get Victory Chinese from Hy-Vee every time the Lions won a game. So they lost, and there was words said, and my brother and I were in the basement, and it was probably very good. And I'm like, Charlie, get in the car. And he's like, what? I'm like, we're going to go get Chinese. He goes, but Daddy, they lost. And I said, Daddy needs to feel better. We're going to go get some Chinese. So we get in the car. It's all quiet. And all of a sudden I hear Charlie go, Dad? I said, yeah, buddy. He goes, what does effed mean? And I'm like, oh, no. That's when I knew. That's when I knew. I was like, uh-oh, that was on me. And I said, did you hear Uncle Larry say that? He goes, you and Uncle Larry both kept saying it. I was like, yep, well, we'll explain it later. So be careful.
At that age, and it's like, gosh darn it. Yep. Well, it's good for me because I have a potty mouth, so it's really good for me. Actually, real quick.
You have a potty mouth? No. I could never imagine you having a potty mouth.
We all have to pay each other money. And the person who's going to win is Kennedy because that little girl won't even blink an eye. And so Keenan has a bad mouth. So we're like, listen, if you make a mistake and we call you on it, you got to send each other $1 every time. And if it's something really bad, it's $7.50.
I love – well, you know what? Kennedy has always been the moral compass in that family. I've said that from the start. That's easy. You two set a low bar, though. That's a low bar that you and Keelan set, so she's doing good. There is a football game this afternoon. We'll get to that because it's Illinois, it's Tennessee. We can finally talk a little bit about the bowl game itself. And it's a really fun matchup. Your thoughts on when you just look at the matchup and what does Illinois have to do? Because I think this is with Illinois, with Iowa, with Iowa State to an extent. Iowa State's not playing in a bowl game, but to some of these teams, Iowa and Illinois, it's an important game. Some bowl games don't have that feel for some schools. I feel like this is an important game for the Fighting Illini. What do they have to do against Tennessee to be successful today?
Get stops on defense. That's it. Tennessee doesn't. This is not your traditional Tennessee team where the offense and defense is great. The defense is not really good. That's why they fired the defensive coordinator because they weren't very good on defense. Illinois is missing, 2 people on defense. With Matthew Bailey's one, and then you got Gabe Yakus. So I'm concerned about them defensively to stop people. Illinois has made strides in the last few games. But we know all season this team has not been great defensively themselves. So in order for Illinois to get a win today, because Tennessee's going to put the ball up, they're going to throw the ball and they're going to score points. Again, you do the math. That's not a good recipe for Illinois because they're not great at that. They didn't go out. It's not the NBA. The trading deadline. They went out and got more players. Those are still the same kids. So I think it's going to be tough for them defensively. But offensively, I think Illinois is going to move the ball. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. People have been asking me. I think it's going to be a 40-something, a 35-30 game because both teams can move the football.
You mentioned that Luke Altmaier, his last game in an Illinois uniform. By the way, are those Illinois uniforms, do they look pretty sharp or what? Have you seen the do you like? Do you not like? Oh, you don't like?
I love it. I grew up because Illinois fans always just blue and orange, and now it's really orange and blue, but I like the blue look because if you think about it, they've all gone to orange, except for Shauna. Shauna has really stayed with the blue because she's superstitious. Shauna Green, she doesn't like the orange, even though the girls don't like it. But Brad Underwood and Brad Bielema love the orange, but you can't go orange today with Tennessee. Yep. Because they have that ugly orange that I don't really like. So anyway, I just think it's going to be a really interesting matchup. To be honest with you, but just with the uniforms itself. The media department, Illinois has a really good media department. The uniforms and I'm a Nike guy, so they're a Nike school, which I like because they provide them a lot of good, tire. Even the coaches. I mean, the stuff that they wear is sharp. You see it, they I want that, I want that, but you're never going to get it.
Yeah, and you know what kind of household I grew up in. I'm not an Orange fan, and that's even with your Bears too, which you're living the good life with the Bears too. So like the less orange and the more blue, I think it looks really sharp. But with that being said, the last time in a uniform and a good looking uniform for Luke Altmaier, I think he can have a really, really like a great way to end what's been an amazing 3 years at Illinois. Is it as simple as Luke Altmaier carrying this team offensively and outscoring Tennessee? Is that the recipe maybe to success today?
Yes. I mean, I know you're asking for a great answer, but yes, he has to be great. He is good. I'm glad a player like Luke Altmaier doesn't come to Illinois very often and very long. Illinois got 3 years out of that kid, but he has to be great today. But I'm not worried about him being great. I'm worried about him, the line protecting him, and I'm worried about the receivers making sure that they catch the balls. Illinois has a really good offense. They do. I mean, there's been a few times where they went to sleep. One was at Indiana. People go back to the Ohio State game. I'm telling you, if they don't turn the ball over, that's a different game. They turn the ball over on their yard, on their side of the field 3 or 4 times. So moving the ball shouldn't be a problem, especially they've had a lot of time off. And the thing with all these bowl games, and I like them, is that the offensive coordinators, are going to throw a lot of different things at people. And the college football playoffs should be every team's goal. Don't get me wrong. But I love the bowl games. I'm getting frustrated because people want to do away with them. They're always trying to figure out, should you play? Players don't want to play. When I watch, Illinois, if you go to their social media account, the players are singing one of my favorite songs when I was in college, Garth Brooks. Luke Altmaier was leading the way, and the teams compete against each other, friends in low places. I thought that was great because that's what the bowl games are about. And because the college playoffs mean so much, we've lost sight of that.
Do you get the feel that Illinois cares? I think it's important in bowl games, and we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. You're like, some teams you don't feel like it's disappointing, or they're going to this game, keep opting out. And yeah, Illinois had a couple. One, I would say, the other one more medical and stuff like that with Matthew Bailey. But I feel like this is important to them. Okay, they can win a 9th game. They can win 19 games in 2 years. All those kind of things. Do you get the feeling that this group wants to be there? This is an important game? It's a dumb question because it should always be, but in today's day, college football, it's not always the case.
I don't mean this in a negative way. I love you, but that's a dumb question because Illinois is not in a position, Matt, to not want to go. Their football program stunk. It was horrible. Let's call a spade a spade. They were horrible. The women's basketball program stunk. Those 2 programs don't have any wiggle room to me to call the shots. And to be honest with you, and I don't care if I offend people, the people who opted out of these bowl games, I think is BS. And I'll tell you why. Forget all the political part of it. And I know there's Iowa State people listening. You screw the kids out of it. You know what? When these kids are 30, 35 years old, they're going to think, I could have played one more game with my friends. You don't think I'm not even going to go there. There's not enough time in my segment. But I think it's wrong. I don't care about the money part and all the Notre Dame people. I don't care if you're pissed at me. That is wrong to do. If you go out there with the C team players, go play because it's an embarrassment. Yes, everybody, and I will put it like this. There's only one team that's going to win a national title. Okay, there's 12 teams in that college football playoff, but only one's going to, go home with a trophy, man. So by you getting mad and sulking because you didn't get in and, we're going to, show our chest how strong we are, at the end of the day, we've lost sight of it. It's about the kids, man. We've lost that and the fans. You don't think the Notre Dame fans want to see them play again? Yes. I want to see Illinois play in the college football playoff, but I told you on this air, I don't think they were prepared for it. I don't want to see them go be on the national stage when I know their defense wasn't the greatest this year. I don't want to see the team that I like to go cover and, root for get beat 75-0 because nobody's going to care in the college football playoffs. That's my take on it. I'm sorry to rant, but I think the bowls are important. I want the fans to show up. I know Illinois is going to be there, and they're moving in the right direction. They're trending up. The recruiting is better. Like I said to you, you listed on the last podcast or 2 podcasts ago all the records that Brett Bielema has broken. we're talking football. Sean Green broke so many records when the Illinois women beat Tuesday the other night. It was amazing. So until you can establish and be consistent, like Iowa football, and I know Iowa fans are sick of you and not talking about it. You can't. I mean, like Keelan and I said, my son, he likes to look at the scores and the parlays and all that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you, but he's sitting here frustrated because he can't deal with Iowa. His friends who are Iowa fans are like, he's like, shut up. Yeah. Do you don't think I want to be that? You don't think that? Because he's like, Dad, Illinois is relevant. I mean, he has more confidence in them than I do sometimes because they've not done it, and it's hard to admit that you're not used to it, but it's a fact.
No, hey, I'm a Lions fan. I feel the same way. It's like, what in the and it's funny being like, I listen to a lot of Detroit stuff, and there's cranky Lions fans because they're gonna go 9-8 or 8-9. I'm like, my God, do you remember 0-16? Like I do. I remember that. Same thing with Illinois. Like it's and that's not an excuse. Like Ked's not sitting here trying to make an excuse. Like this is yes, there's disappointment because the expectations were here. But hell, Ked, if they were here and you get to here. Then there's a problem if they're way down here. But man, and I think we just had Pat Anger on and Gary Dolphin on the last segment, and Pat was talking about the 15 extra practices. You're building a program. Like you're building for the next years. I mean, all of those kind of things. Today, when it's December 30th and a lot of people have this week off at 4:30 in the afternoon, people are going to turn on or whatever it is. Kickoff 4:30, 3:30, whatever it is, 3:30, 4:30, and they click on it's Illinois. And don't think it meant something last year when Brett Bielema was out doing this and everybody was talking about it. Like he knows what he's doing, and that's good for the brand. That's good for the program. 15 extra practices. You're 100% right. Teams and players that don't want to play in this kind of stuff, shame on you. You got to look towards next year, and it's going to benefit you now, but also in the future as well.
I don't know. I should know this because I cover them, but I don't know what Brett Bielema's major in, but I've told you how good and creative he is with marketing and the media and with his social media. When Illinois men's basketball played Tennessee, they were given a guitar as a trophy. And I think Thomas Vicic, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's worth to go look at. He had the guitar and he broke it. And he slammed it on the ground, and I don't think Brad he didn't like it. I did find out that they're getting another one. Well, here's a method to my madness. Well, this week, somebody presented Brett Bielema with a guitar, and he jokingly said, I want to make sure I don't do it with the men's basketball team. I'll take care of this one. My point is, you're talking about him doing the arm thing and how creative he is because it went viral. I mean, I saw it on ESPN News because they made a joke out of it because, what they did with the basketball guitar. So he's really good at selling his program, and it's a chance for people to see and recruits that you're still going to get. And I'm going to tell you what, all this I forgot to talk about because the day and age has changed, the transfer portal. All these kids are going to get to see you do and what you need. And because you don't think that these kids have entered the portal, they're saying, hey, I want to come to Illinois, but, Illinois is saying we're missing this and they can show you this or, we're going to throw the ball to you, we're going to change our defense. All that stuff matters because you can get kids out of the transfer portal now.
Yeah. No, and I got a couple quick more questions before I let you go. But the other thing with that too is this month, all we hear is people going to the transfer portal, although it's not opened up yet till like January 2nd or whatever, but it is what it is. And I feel like if you are practicing with your players and preparing for a bowl game, maybe they're not sitting in their dorm room thinking, should I get in the portal? Should I not get in the portal? Like anybody who's thinking about leaving Iowa, leaving Illinois, they're focused on playing one more game. So maybe that keeps them thinking football instead of thinking about that portal thing and maybe keeps them in your program for the years to come. Last week and even this week, and we just did it with Pat and Gary, we did like a couple best of since it's 25 is almost over. So your best moment for Illinois football in 2025 would be what? The best moment of the year for Illinois football?
You got me, put me on the spot, man. I'm trying to think.
I meant to text you these earlier. My fault.
That's okay. I'm trying to think of the 2025. I'm trying to think of probably the comeback from the Duke game. I mean, I guess I can't say a moment. Because the whole game. Because going into the game, we thought Duke was pretty decent, even though They've proven to be pretty decent. The ACC is horrible. But the comeback then, because it kind of told me how good they were going to be. I didn't like how close it was, but that game probably changed the whole trajectory of me thinking, you know what, because Luke brought him back. And it was a great, great touchdown pass. It was former Rock Island Rock's Cole Ruff's first touchdown pass that when you watch all the little tidbits on national Illinois highlights of what they've done, like, promoting Illinois, that touchdown catch by number 14, Cole Rusk, was great, and he went up in there to get it. So that moment was great. The game itself was probably the Duke game, but him getting a catch being from Rock Island, and I'm close to the family, meant a lot.
And kind of the same thing, but best game. And I had Duke as one of them. One other game kind of topped it for me when I looked at this season. What's the best game for Illinois football this year?
You said the Duke game did it for you?
That was second. That was second. There was another game that I felt, and it was coming off a big disappointment, that they were at home at Memorial Stadium. It's their best win of the year. In my opinion, the USC game is the best game of the year because they're coming off a loss and everything. And then the way that thing went with it, the entertainment value of it as well. And that's one thing with Illinois football. They didn't play a ton of close games. Like, the losses weren't very close. The wins, they handled pretty well most of the time. There were a few close games, and USC, in my opinion, is the best game. Your thoughts?
That was probably the best. It was the most complete game because the people were complaining about the defense, couldn't get stops. They couldn't run the ball. And I remember that game where they came out, you could tell Brett was upset with how things were going. They ran the football well. They blocked. It was a close game, 34-32, which, I like. But then you get, after being blown out on national TV, 63-10 to Indiana, it was a good game, and it proved to be a good game. It was a shootout, which I love. I love high scoring offenses. But anyway, my point is, that was probably their best win overall because it was the most complete. They played defense, even though they gave up 32 points. USC is a good offensive team. So that was probably that's a good guess.
Last one for you. Best player. It could be offense, it could be defense. It's kind of an easy one, but in my opinion, right?
It's Luke, because he could have left, and I don't think fans listening to this show locally or nationally, that a lot of people follow us both on Twitter and nationally. Illinois is really lucky to get that kid to come back. He could have gone anywhere, and he's a really, really good quarterback. It's tough that he had to, have Indiana in the league this year, going against him, and then Ohio State. But I'm telling you, Luke had a great, amazing year. He broke a lot of records himself. And for him to come back, and the reasons that he came back, the kid's from Mississippi, Starkville, Mississippi. He owes the state of Illinois nothing, but he loves the Illinois fans because they embraced him big time.
Yeah, and I can't say enough about him. I've told everybody, and you as well, he came up a couple years ago for my dad's golf outing, and I can't say enough about that guy. A genuinely good human being, come up to do that with us was awesome, and took the time to chat for about 15, 20 minutes, and just a very personable, good human being. You can tell that as well. New Year's resolutions, do you have any?
Yes, my New Year's resolution is to become healthy again. I've just been battling health issues for the last 3 years, and I have a couple more surgeries, and one big one coming up in March, and I think I should be done by then. So I just want to have a normal, rest of the year, at my other job and the summer, and spend time with my grandson, and that's my biggest thing. And then everybody else be healthy, and for people to get along. That is probably the biggest thing for me. My health is important, but damn, I'm so sick of people not getting along, the hate, the negativity. I want that to change. If I could have anything, to be truthful with you, I'd rather have it over my health. And I hate to say that I would. It is that bad. But I being mean to me, you have to push a button to get it to happen. And when you do it, yes, it's ugly with me. But it's not in my cards. Just get along, man. I don't care. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, my biggest thing is agree to disagree. And if you might not agree on something, shut up. just don't, just shut up, move on.
Don't-
Hey,
yeah.
I wish you the best, happiest New Year. Good luck today, Peepaw. Behave yourself, Peepaw. You know what I mean? Be a good
Yeah, I
boy.
got you.
Tell your family I said hello. I saw Kennedy, don't know it, but I saw her sneak in behind you. So tell Kennedy I said hi as well. And we'll talk to you guys again real soon. Happy New Year, my man.
Totally.
Good luck today.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right, that is Ken Prince talking a little Illinois football as we get ready for a bowl game today with Tennessee and Illinois. So it should be a fantastic, and he's right, it should be an entertaining game, plenty of offense in that game. I think everyone expects that as well. So it should be fun down in Nashville. Speaking of Nashville, after the break, we're going to head to Nashville and chat with a good friend of mine who's an Illini fan who's down getting ready for the bowl game right now. So we'll go to Nashville and check in with my good friend Dustin Thor as he gets ready and his family to experience the bowl game for Illinois. All that and much more. You watching OTA on a Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Give me the keys. Learning to drive can be stressful for both the student and, yes, the parent as well. Relax. There's an easy way to avoid the stress. Skiles Driving School in East Moline has been helping new drivers hit the road with confidence for over 20 years. Whether you're a teen earning your first license or an adult looking for behind-the-wheel training, we've got you covered. Their certified instructors are patient, experienced, and use modern vehicles equipped for safety and comfort. From classroom instruction to real-world driving, we make learning safe, affordable, and even fun. Call 309-278-0098 or visit skylesdriving.com. Skiles Driving School. Get in, buckle up, drive your future forward.
Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. Tuesday, December 30th. Bowl season officially in full swing. It should be a great day of college football today, tomorrow, and New Year's Day. So, and even past that as well. So if it's really cold outside, which it is, just stay inside, watch this show, of course. But then you got the Illini coming your way at 4:30 today. Iowa tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. There's a college football playoff game tomorrow night, 3 of them on New Year's Day. So a ton to get to when it comes to college football. Now, we mentioned the Illini. We just got done talking with Ken Prince about Illinois. It's Illinois and Tennessee coming up, 4:30. Illinois right now, 3.5-point underdogs. And it's in Tennessee. It's in Nashville, Tennessee. So you would think it's probably going to be a home game. And most likely it probably will be for the Volunteers. But don't you worry, there are plenty of Illini fans down in Nashville, including my good friend Dustin Thor, who joins me now from Nashville. Hey, buddy, how are you?
I am good. We're getting here. Sorry I don't have a better view of downtown Nashville. We're staying just outside Broadway. I got these two yahoos with me. They did Avery and Colton, they did a great job traveling down. We split the drive up from went to St. Louis for 2 nights and then have been here in Nashville. So we're pretty pumped. We're excited. Even though it's 35 degrees out, it's not the worst if you're layered up.
Yeah, hey, when you said that, it sounded like Colton did the driving on the way down. He didn't actually drive the car on the way down, correct?
Yeah, we let him drive. It's fine.
Yeah,
Now that he can see over the steering wheel, it's fine. Avery was on the pedals. He was on the steering wheel.
It's teamwork. I love to see it. Hey, you've been in Nashville for, I think you got there yesterday. Obviously, the game's this afternoon. What have you seen? Because it is in the state of Tennessee. You're playing the Volunteers. You expect a lot of Tennessee fans. I think Illini Nation, I know several that went down from the Quad Cities alone. What have you seen so far when it comes to Illini Nation down in Nashville today?
Well, so last night we went to the Whiskey, forgive me if I get the name wrong, Whiskey Bent River Saloon or Whiskey Bent Saloon. They did the Battle of the Bands. They called that a draw. We know that's actually not accurate. Illinois smoked the Tennessee band because we probably have the top 5 band in the nation. But I mean, the bar was packed. Josh Whitman spoke. I don't know how much you've had to interact with him, but he's so eloquent and he speaks and he makes you very proud to be an Illini fan. So the kids got a picture with him. That was really cool. Kevin Mitchell, an old D-back, was there. Kerry Davis, an old running back for Illinois, was there as well speaking. There was players running around all over the place, but I mean, the bar was packed. It took forever to get a beer, which I guess was a good thing. It means there's a lot of people there, right?
Yeah.
So no, it was a good time, and then we were able to get out of there. I did get a chat with Brian Barnhart a little bit.
Nice.
So he's he's very near to our hearts because we like to talk sports because we can't play them anymore because we're old and have too many injuries and knees hurt and things like that. So yeah, no, it was a good time. The thing I like about it too is the Illinois crowd. It's always, pats on the backs and, places that are crowded like that, you can always run into issues, and it's always so nice and so family friendly and things like that. But yeah, it was an awesome time last night. And then today we're heading to Aldean's. We got the tickets for the Illini pre-party, so there'll be 1,200 of the Illini faithful gathered there. And then it's a nice 10-minute walk to the stadium where hopefully we show up and show out.
Yeah, I want to go back to last night. Josh Whitman, and I've known you forever, and you're an Illini fan forever. What does that guy mean? I mean, you look at where this program come, not just this one, but you look at the basketball program, the women's basketball program. I mean, everything down there is, and I think Josh Whitman has a ton to do with that. What was it like chatting with him? And as an Illini fan, you're pretty okay with your athletic director, aren't you?
Yeah. So funny you bring that up. He actually addressed the crowd quite a bit with that, with not only the football program, and I believe if they win today, it'll be the most wins in back-to-back seasons in football history for Illinois.
Absolutely.
I believe. Don't quote me on that. And then, the basketball program's obviously rolling. The women's program's off to the best start in school history there. And then, he hit on the track and field and the golf and all that. And just like you can feel the passion when he talks about it because he's one of us, right? Or not us. I didn't go there. My dad did. But, he's from the school. It means something to him. It's not just a paycheck or a job. I think it means more. And you can just tell even the people around us were, when he was done talking, they were just like, oh God, he's such a great speaker. And it's true. And so yeah, it was very good. Yes. We're happy with him and hopefully we keep him for a long time.
No, absolutely. Thor, when you look at this program and what you guys have done, where are you as a fan? Because obviously expectations were high, and I always remind every Illinois fan, and there was some probably crankiness because the expectations didn't quite meet where you were going to go to, but to have 10 wins last year, to possibly get 9 this year, 19 wins, I think Lovey won 17 in 5 years, and Brett Bielema is going to win 18 or 19 in 2. Are you one of those, and I think you might be, smart Illini fans that are very grateful with where things have gotten to, considering what they were, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, I think, when the year started, all of us, in the Quad Cities were saying, hey, it's playoff or bust this year. And we had the kind of the wake-up call against Indiana where we realized maybe we weren't where we thought we were. But I think Ked hit on it, the bounce back in the USC game. I mean, that's a hell of a win. Yeah. And then we had a little bit of a downfall in Washington, but I think there were some schemes that maybe the offensive line they worked on towards the end, but I mean, they hit the ground running at the end. And if you watch some of the Twitter or the X and some of the interviews of the players doing, even last night, those guys talking about how much these wins mean. And I think you hit it on it earlier. Some of these schools are like, oh, we're a blue blood, we're this, we're that. To see how much passion and what this means and having the ability to go out and do it one more time. I think that resonates through the fans, and that's why I think we'll have a good showing here in Tennessee. We'll have a good opportunity to cheer them on, and hopefully we outnumber the Tennessee Volunteer fans. That'd be cool.
You have been great to golf in my dad's golf outing, I think, every single year. But we get the Illini guys up there, and I think that's cool because you've got to meet and mingle with them. They're good. I mean, and Cole Rusk leads the way, in my opinion, when it comes to great human beings. Kind of talk about that because when you're at these places and at the team greets and the players are running around, it helps bringing little kids around, your kids around, to meet these guys when there's such good people. Kind of talk about that because you're cheering for a good program with good people in it, and that's got to help out a ton.
Yeah, and you talked about it with when Altmaier came up a couple years ago. I mean, he was a big deal by then. He had zero business being up there. Like he didn't need to do anything like that. And he did.
What do you mean? It's the greatest golf outing in the history of the world.
You know what I mean.
I got you.
And the fact that he did do that is awesome. And me and my buddy Dave, we sat and chatted up with them and got a cool pictures. Apologize for the drag racing going on right now.
Who's
Might
going to
be
win?
A little loud. Well, if it's an orange and blue car, that'll be it. But no, and then last year, I took the T-bar picture with the guys that came up when I had the Brett Bielema tank top on doing from last year's bowl game. So I hope we get another one of those this year. But no, yeah, that's awesome having those guys come up versus the Iowa guys and things like that. So it makes you, you're right, it connects you even more, especially for the Quad Cities.
All right, let's talk football before I let you go. And we kind of talked a little bit earlier this morning. I think you guys are going to see a lot of offense. I think Ked mentioned that as well. Yep. Is that what you expect? Does Illinois have to outscore Tennessee today?
Well, what I tell you this morning, first one to 35 wins, and I think Ked went 42-35 or something like that. So whoever gets to 35 will get to 42, and the other team will be stuck at 35. So just kind of like the Bears-Niners game the other night. It's just going to be bang, 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 score. So, and I got a guy, Juice Clark. If he gets a pick, you can mark it. Illinois wins.
Wow, look at that. You're not even calling your own shots, but you're actually calling out players and everything. Juice Clark.
Yeah. There's just he's got the juice, and we've had some pretty good success with guys named Juice at Illinois. So,
no, I love it. Before I let you go too, so take me through where you're going now. You're heading to the team huddle and all that kind of stuff. Or
we're gonna go get.
There you go. There's the real stars.
We're gonna go get the pictures at the butterfly wing thing, that every tourist has to do down here, with the big mural with the butterfly.
Yep.
And then we're heading to Dean's from 1 to 4, and then we'll begin the walk to Nissan Stadium, and it's pretty cool. They're building a new stadium right next to it that's gonna have the dome.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're back here in a couple years for a Final Four.
Well, one team at a time. Hey, Thor, I think this could have been the start of something big. Like, I mean, maybe this could become a segment or something. Like, I think you did good.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I just speak from the heart.
We'll
try to be as genuine as possible.
We'll get feedback from some of the Illini peeps from around here, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Hey, enjoy the game. Tell your kids I said hi. Tell your wife I said hi. Good luck, all that good stuff. Stay warm. We'll catch up with you again soon. Thanks, buddy.
All right, brother. Talk to you later.
All right. See you guys. That is Dustin Thor, a good friend of mine down. He texted me like a week ago, and he's like, hey, we're taking the family down. I think jokingly, he was like, hey, you want me to be a correspondent? I'm like, yeah, I think I do. Like, I'm doing a show that day, and it'd be cool to get the scene and see what it's like down in Nashville. So as Thor told us, a lot of Illinois fans there. I'm going to be really intrigued to see because, yes, you're in the state of Tennessee, and people love volunteer football down there, but are they excited about the Music City Bowl and being 8-4 and all that kind of stuff? Plus, I think it's an easy trip for Illinois. It is, and I know a lot of people went down there. So, again, it's Illinois, Tennessee coming up 4:30 this afternoon. We'll talk more about it tomorrow on the show and all those good things as well. We got one more segment to get to. You're watching OTA on a Tuesday, December 30th. 2 more days left until 2026. We're all getting old. We'll wrap things up and a little more right after this. You're watching OTA.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. and the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Tuesday in the Quad Cities. Tuesday, December 30th, just 2 days left of 2025, 2026, right around the corner. We've had a great show. We'll talk on and kind of recap it in just a second. I had a lot of people reaching out to me, excuse me, with some thoughts, of course. Reaching out is a nice way of making fun of me, maybe, on social media and text message, everything else. Obviously, we didn't do a show on Monday, and everyone was like, well, the reason why you didn't is because your Lions lost, and the Bears won. And it's the holiday time. I got kids playing in holiday tournaments and everything else. But I'd love to talk about the Bears. We'll talk more about the Bears probably tomorrow on the show, and then a little later on, obviously, next week as well, because we're going to be playing postseason football, playoff football as well. But yeah, obviously, watching the Bears this week, we talked about at the top of the show. I think the San Francisco game was their most impressive game of the season. And I think people think I'm crazy for that. I've said that to some people. Yes, they beat the Packers. I was not impressed with the Bears in the Packer game. I mean, yes, the last 5 minutes was really good, but they didn't play well. Caleb at one point was like 10 of 22 or something like that. I mean, they had 6 points for 55 minutes. Yes, it's a 60-minute game, and they came back and won and all that kind of stuff. Maybe the Philadelphia game, I didn't expect that, but I haven't been overly impressed with Philadelphia, especially during that time. Now Philly's playing better lately. They went to Buffalo and had a really good victory at Buffalo on Sunday. So, so I get that, but that game with San Francisco, that's as well as the defense has played. The offense has played all season. Defense, not so much. And when they don't take the football away, that's what happens. Obviously, the pick six was huge to start the game, but other than that, they didn't take the ball away. San Francisco didn't give it away, and they scored at will. But offensively, Bears fans watching this Bears team, it's like watching the Lions last year or the year before. And I mean this nicely, not quite to that level yet, because I don't think the pieces are as good as they are in Detroit. But with that being said, the play calling, the rolling one way and a tight end screen the opposite way, that hook and ladder, the Lions ran against Arizona last year. They actually scored, but they ran that last year. I mean, a lot of the things I'm seeing is like watching, and that's all a very good thing. I think Ben Johnson's a fantastic head coach. Now, I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, well, the Lions aren't good because Ben Johnson's gone. The Bears are good because Ben Johnson's there. I don't think it's the same in Detroit. Obviously, I'd love to have him back, but the offense is still really good. And they're top 3 in the league and everything, top 2 in the league and everything. The running game's not there, and that's what's in Chicago. Chicago runs the football. They didn't do it great or to a high level against San Francisco, and they didn't have to. And also they had to play catch up. They had to do a little shootout with the Niners. The problem with Detroit is the offensive line. On Christmas, when Penei Sewell went out, there were 5 guys out there that a year ago weren't playing, and the Lions rebuilt centered on that offensive line. And it started with Frank Ragnow with a later retirement than I think the franchise would have liked, because they could have maybe planned a little better. But Ragnow retired. Taylor Decker's getting older. The guards were hurt. They didn't re-sign Kevin Zeitler. And all of a sudden you looked around, and the thing that made them dominant the last couple of years was up front, and now that's not there. To their credit, to Dan Campbell's credit, to Jared Goff's credit, who had a bad game against the Vikings. That snowballed quickly, but has had a fantastic season, like a really, really fantastic season. And so I think to their credit, they've continued to score at a high level without having that consistent running game and those guys up front and the protection up front. So that's what the Lions got to deal with. They got to figure out that offensive line and move forward with kind of repatching that up and rebuilding that during the offseason. That's what the Bears do great. They protect Caleb Williams and they run the football at a high level. And that's what was impressive when Ben Johnson came in. I told everybody who would listen, that's what's going to be the Bears calling card. Is that everyone thought that he was going to get with Caleb, who played probably his best game of the season against the Niners. But I told everybody who would listen, he wants to run the football first. And I'll tell everybody who will listen again this time, I've been saying it, what you're seeing this year won't be next year. If you think DeAndre Swift and Manange is the duo at running back, and I think the rookie will be, if Ben Johnson can upgrade his running backs, he will do it in a heartbeat during this offseason. If he can, same thing in Detroit. It was Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift, and everyone's like, wow, look at these two. They're really playing well, and they're doing good things, and they let DeAndre Swift leave as a free agent, and then they let Jamal Williams leave as a free agent. And they went and drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, and they went and signed David Montgomery. Like, that's what Ben Johnson will do. That's next year. Let's worry about next year later. But also for the Niners, I watched the Niners last Sunday night, and I'm like, that's the Lions from last year. They're going to score with anybody. Defensively, they can't get to the quarterback. And when the Lions lost Aiden Hutchinson, they couldn't get to the quarterback. And when the Niners lost Nick Bosa, they can't get to the quarterback. Caleb had all day, no pressure at all to worry about things, and he played well. So what happens this Sunday, and we'll talk more about it with next guests. I wish they won't do this, but I wish the Lions would rest guys that are hurt, because a lot of them are playing hurt, and worry about next year. Not saying tank the game, but it's the Lions versus the Bears. I wouldn't be heartbroken if the Lions lost. They'd get the 4th place schedule next year, which Bears and fans know is opportunistic sometimes, and a better draft pick and all that kind of stuff. But it is Bears Lions, so if the Lions win, I'll be okay with that as well. For the Bears, I had Bears fans asking me, do you think Ben will sit people? Obviously, they have they could be the 2 seed or the 3 seed, so it is important kind of which one, if they won that first round game, who would be hosting and all that kind of stuff. So, but it doesn't matter. Dan Campbell's going to play everybody and play that game like it's the damn Super Bowl. And the Bears will too, because that's Ben Johnson, and Ben and Dan are very similar. So I think he has that same mindset. The Bears, remember, getting spanked 52-21 by 31 points week 2. The Lions have lost 3 straight. They hadn't lost 2 straight in like over 1,000 games. Or days, not games, but like 3.5 years. And now they haven't lost just 2 straight. They've now lost 3 straight. So it could go one of 2 ways. The Lions expect to be playing for something this time of year, and they're not. So I'd be surprised if they quit and gave in. But I saw a little bit of that against Minnesota. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Boy, I'm going to be as interested as all interested can be if it's Packers Bears coming up again in round 1 of the playoffs. And I think it'd be one of the primetime games when they announce the schedule and all that kind of stuff, obviously. And I think the Packers would win. I know Bears fans hate me for that, but boy, they should have beat them a few weeks ago, and now you get to play them again, same spot with your starting quarterback. Probably with your starting running back, because Josh Jacobs ain't going to play this week. He should be rested and much better in 2 weeks. Obviously, Micah Parsons isn't coming back, but it'll be – and it's that team. It's those guys from the north that have owned you for so long. And Bears fans acted like it was the Super Bowl winning play when they beat the Packers in overtime. And mind you, I get that. Every Bears fan I talked to, I said, hey, you should enjoy the hell out of that, because that is that team that has beaten you for so long, and you did that. I completely understood it. But now the Packers, it just, trust me, if I was the Lions, if it was Lions Packers, I'd be like, last year I wanted no part of the Packers. I should have been concerned with the Commanders, but I didn't want anything part of the Packers, because that's that team. It's that damn helmet. It's all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of where, if it ended today, the Bears would have the Packers, then they would get the winner of the Eagles and Rams. I still think the Rams are the best team in the NFC. And then if they win that, they'd probably get the winner of probably the number 1 seed, which right now is Seattle, and San Francisco in the NFC Championship game. So they have to probably go Packers, Eagles, or Rams, and then so it'd be a tough road. But you know what? And we'll put the poll question up tomorrow. Who's the best team in football right now? The Bills just lost, I mean, is it the Patriots with a second-year quarterback who's playing out of his mind? But are the Patriots suddenly the best team in football? The Broncos? Are you sold with the Broncos? The Niners looked great on Sunday night, but they can't stop it. I mean, there's no pressure at all on their front four. It's just the Rams lost last night to the Falcons, and I just say they're the best team in football. So it's just a crazy NFL with a bunch of parity. What was it? I read that like the Bears went from worst to first, and it's like the 23rd time that's happened in the last 25 years. So basically almost once a year we have like a worst to first, which will be the Lions next year, just so you guys know. So it's been wild and crazy. We'll talk more about that. Next guest tomorrow. Different time for the show tomorrow. Tomorrow we will do probably around 3 o'clock. The Iowa game's 11, gets done at like 2. We'll give Tom Kakert some time to do his work. So maybe 3:30 we'll do a show kind of recapping Iowa and Vanderbilt. We'll also talk about Illinois' game with Tennessee tomorrow. We'll talk about it's today, but we'll talk about it tomorrow if that makes any sense. And then the Nest Guest segment as well. Last week of Nest Guests, I am way behind. It ain't going to happen, so I'm going to be taking a pie in my face. So you'll see that tomorrow. Once again, thank you to Hungry Hobo for being a fantastic sponsor of not just Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, but of the Nest Guest segment. It's been a ton of fun. Thank you. Ton of fun. Thank you for everyone who's partaken in it. It was a great success, and we can't wait to do it again next year as well. So it should be a bunch of fun to check those kind of things out as well. As for today's show, thank you to, in my opinion, in my very biased opinion, but I think it's a correct opinion, one of the best radio booths in all of college football. Gary Dolphin is a damn legend, everybody. He's a legend. And Pat Anger has done a great job for the 2 years he's done it, and he is just the two of them, the chemistry. If you couldn't tell, that's like the way they are in the booth and on the air is the way they are in life. And it's been fun to watch, being part of the Hawkeye Radio Network this year and seeing it firsthand. What you see is what you get. So thank you to Gary Dolphin and Pat Anger for joining us in the first segment. If you missed it, go back and check it out. It was a lot of fun, a lot of laughs as well. Ken Prince talking to us about the Illini game coming up with Tennessee, 4:30 today. Did a great job getting us ready for that, but then also looking back at the best moment for Illinois football, best player, best game. So go check out Ked. And then we just got done going live to Nashville. My good friend Dustin Thor was down there, him and his family there getting ready for the game. So he kind of gave us, kind of set the scene. And for a guy who never set the scene before when it comes to, television or what the hell this is, he did a great job. So it's Illinois and Tennessee. Enjoy the game today as well. Just so you know, a show tomorrow. It's New Year's Eve. I'll stay sober, I guess. I'll be a good boy through the show. So we'll do a later show tomorrow. So while you're starting to celebrate your New Year's Eve festivities, tune in to Off the Air. And then no show on New Year's Day. We're going to take Friday off as well. And then we'll be back rocking and rolling next week, starting next Monday. Next Tuesday is our anniversary show. 1 year ago, next Tuesday, we started this silly little show. And now it's being seen in Central Iowa. Thank you to Nexstar and WHO and their streaming platform. Thank you to all our sponsors for allowing us to do this, allowing me to do this. It's been a bunch of fun. And we've literally just thrown stuff at a wall. And if it works, we do it. If it doesn't, we don't. And a lot of it's worked, thankfully. Taking the show on the road to the Iowa football media days and women's and men's basketball media days. And on Fridays going out to the high schools and doing those kind of things. It's been so much fun. And so we're going to continue to do it. We've got some new things, some new bells and whistles, maybe a new logo coming as well. Some new things hopefully next week and the weeks to follow on OTA. But mark your calendar next Tuesday, planning a fun anniversary show. I didn't think I'd make it 6 months. So we made it a year. How about that? So again, and thank you most importantly for watching this goofy little show that we do each and every day here in the Quad Cities. It's been a bunch of fun. And go check out the other shows this year as well and the last couple of weeks. As you get ready for the new year. So one more show tomorrow in 2025, and then we'll look forward and ahead to 2026. And just saying 2026 makes me feel really old, but it is what it is. So thank you again for watching. Thank you to our sponsors, and we will see you guys back here tomorrow after the Iowa-Vanderbilt game, probably about an hour and a half after the game. We'll give, like I said, Tom Kakert some time to actually do real work, which is what Tommy does at a very high level. So he'll do those kind of things, and then we will come back and recap it all and nest guess and all those kind of things as well. So we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching.